Hey everybody, this is your next installment of Miss Your Face Moment. Sorry it's a little late. We usually try to do them around Sunday, but been a little crazy at my house this week. So um, what I want to talk to you today about is anxiety, and I was feeling really like we need to talk about this for a minute. In life, we generally have anxiety, but in the last couple months, we've had anxiety over our wedding's going to happen. Can we continue our temple worship? Can we go to church? Can we go to school and work and politics and family? Is my family going to be sick or is my family going to be well? We've just had so much anxiety that we're actually anxious about being anxious. Anxiety can make our thoughts and feelings feel super jumbled. So I want to talk about two things today. One is the difference between the feelings from anxiety versus the spirit, because sometimes it's hard to tell. We don't know. And then the second thing I want to talk about is an antidote of how to help this. So here we go. Difference between anxiety and feeling the spirit. Spiritual communication often comes through feelings, right? Both positive and negative. It can warn us of something. It can have us have good feelings about something is true. But the spirit often teaches us. It provides some information when it teaches us. But sometimes a feeling can create a barrier that we can't feel the spirit. And one of those feelings that does that is anxiety. It builds like a wall. So we can't feel the spirit. We can't discern what we're learning about. Now, anxiety is not always bad. There's helpful anxiety. So an example would be when you go to take a test, you feel nervous. That nervousness makes you study, and then it motivates you to do better. That's good, and it can help you in the gospel too. So maybe we're worried that our spiritual side's falling a bit, so we get a little nervous about where we stand with God, so we start to go to church a little more, we start to say our prayers a little more. We kind of go on this little up and down hill. But then there's also harmful high anxiety. An example with that test example is we study and we go to the test, but we get so worried about it we can't even concentrate or remember anything we studied because the anxiety is so bad. And it's same with the spirit. We can get so out of control that it's really difficult to discern the spirit. Now, in the Book of Mormon, there are examples of helpful anxiety, of prophets that it helped them be more diligent. In Nephi, we find two scriptures. One says, "Mine anxiety is great for you, so I have exhorted you with all diligence." So this anxiety made him want to teach and express himself more, be more diligent in his teaching. And he also says, "I desire that you should remember to observe the statutes and judgments of the Lord. Behold, this hath been the anxiety of my soul." So again, his anxiety drove him to do something amazing. And then in Jacob, "Because of faith and great anxiety, it truly hath been made manifest unto us concerning our people." So anxiety can bring some good things. But there's also times that anxiety has threatened to undermine a prophet's ability to carry out what he's supposed to do. Jacob is one of those great examples. He said, "Behold, I will unfold this mystery unto you, if I do not by any means get shaken from my firmness in the spirit." What shakes us from that firmness? Our anxiety. "And stumble because of my over anxiety for you." Jacob recognized that he was hoping he didn't get so high in anxiety that he couldn't do what God asked him to do. Neal A. Maxwell says there's a difference, therefore, between being anxiously engaged and being over anxious. So there's higher levels. We can be over anxious. So let's talk about really quick, what do we do about it? One, we label it. It helps you be able to choose a soothing behavior to go, "Oh my gosh, I am feeling super anxious about this. What can I do? Can I take a walk? Can I listen to music?" One exercise that I love is the 4-7-8 breathing exercise. So you sit down with a 1-minute timer. You're going to breathe all your air out, blow it out. Then you're going to breathe in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to hold it for 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep holding. 5, 6, 7. And then you're going to blow it out for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You'll do that 3 times in a minute. It's amazing how much that can just clear your mind of what you're worried about. So 1, label it. Find some way to soothe it. 2, evaluate your thoughts. Are they comforting? Are they faithful? Are they truth-based? Or are they negative, condemning, and are partially true? And if they're the second one, you got to clean up your thoughts. You've got to clean up your thoughts. One great way to do this is write down every evidence to prove that your negative thought isn't true. So when I was a little girl, I was anxious about a lot of stuff. Like, am I going to get in a car crash? Am I going to get in a plane crash when we go on here? Is my dad not going to come home from work, you know? Um, and my dad used to say to me, like, I would get worried, like, well, if I go work in the garage, am I going to cut off my hand? You know, I got really anxious about stuff as a little girl. And my dad would say to me, Emily, how many people do you know have cut off their hand? Well, that's what he was doing. He was trying to bring my thoughts back to facts and comforting, you know, because I go, well, I really don't know anybody that doesn't have a hand. So, you know, so really it does help. So label it and soothe it, evaluate it and change it. And the last one I just want to talk about is gratitude. And gratitude, daily gratitude, is not just something that prophets and apostles talk about and it's this fluff that the church talks about. It is scientifically proven. We have these neurotransmitters of dopamine and serotonin and oxytocin that when we start to be grateful, they're released, and guess what those neurotransmitters do? They make us feel good. So we want to have daily gratitude because it will contribute to our shift in our mental health. So label it, evaluate it, and then figure out what you're grateful for. Now, if you have a really hard time coming out of it with something soothing, you stay in that negative thought, you can't find a way to get out of it, and you're struggling to find something to be grateful for, then you need some professional help, and that's okay too. God's provided that for us too. So I just want to bear testimony to you that God is a God of happiness and joy and peace. And if you don't feel that, we got to find a way to feel that. We're probably over anxious. Sorry, I just dropped my phone. We're probably over anxious and not letting the Spirit testify to us the awesomeness of we are, that we're children of God and He loves us. So I just know this is true, and I hope something today helps you so that you can get through your anxious times and just push forward a little better. And sorry I've gone a little long today, but we just love you so much, and I hope you keep tuning in to enjoy our Miss You Minutes. I'm going to put something in the comment that the church has put out that talks about the difference between anxiety and listening to the Spirit. So if you want to access that, just look in the comments. Thanks.